What is going on, guys? My name is James, and you're watching Sports Ball. And I'm here to kind of talk about what the Sixers have been doing this off season and kind of how I would grade a lot of these things. Starting first and foremost, Al Horford is gone. Oh my gosh. I can't express to you how just amazing that is. I haven't been a fan of that since the very beginning. You can ask any of my friends. The second we signed that old fart to that, it was like 4 year, $170 million contract with an absurd amount and millions guaranteed. I hated it from the very beginning. I was like, how is he going to play with Joel? It was nice that Joel didn't have to play against him, but then, we saw what happened in the playoffs. I mean, obviously Ben Simmons was hurt and we got swept, but, all I heard that whole offseason was like, oh, they got Al Horford. Who's going to stop Embiid? No one's going to be able to do it. And then I'm watching them play, and it was, oh my gosh, I wanted to pour bleach into my eyes 90% of the time. The two of them were on the floor. And then, like, I forget what point in the season it was, but you have Al Horford coming off the bench. This guy that you gave almost like a max contract to is now coming off your bench. And it is just unbelievable how that situation was handled with him. And I'm just so glad he's gone. I don't care how much money we lost. I don't care what kind of draft pick we lost. All I care about is that Al Horford is completely gone and he's out of Philly. And I cannot wait for him to come back. I would have that game circled whenever OKC comes to Philly because, assuming, we get the vaccine going and stuff and everyone's able to go to the games, the Boo Birds are going to be out in Philadelphia and it is going to be a rough night for Al Horford when he comes back. Because he didn't give us anything at all. At least Tobias Harris was somewhat consistent throughout the season. And of course, Al Horford, he's an NBA player. He's skilled. He's going to have his nights when he actually does well. But in the playoffs, he was just, oh my gosh. My dad never played basketball. He's like 60 and he could have done virtually the same thing Al Horford. You give me that contract, I'm getting out there and I'm giving you the same minutes and the same production. It's really that simple. That guy is horrible. And I am so glad that he's out of Philly. You have no idea. Now, we did get Danny Green in return with that deal. I think we packaged him in a first rounder to get Danny Green. I think Terrence Ferguson. With Danny Green, the meme god himself on Twitter, I don't really know how to feel about it. I mean, it's nice to have shooting, but, I don't know how consistent he's going to be. I mean, it was bad for him when there were no fans there and like everyone was roasting him on Twitter. And I just know it's going to be 10 times worse when he has to hear it while he's in Philly if he puts up those same shots and those same bricks and builds the same apartment complexes that he's been doing ever since the bubble. It is just absurd how bad he was. But I'm just going to be a little optimistic. I'm always cautious to be optimistic, especially from what I just talked about with Al Horford. But I'm cautiously optimistic with Danny Green. I think he's going to be a great 3-and-D kind of guy for us. And he's got championship experience, something this roster desperately needs. So, I mean, I'm excited to have him on the team. He's going to help space the floor a lot with Seth Curry. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that Seth Curry is here. And we did lose Josh Richardson, but honestly, I mean, the way I kind of look at it is obviously losing Jimmy Butler 2 years ago was just nightmarish. I've never gone to a player's Instagram and commented and just expressed my hate to them like I did when Jimmy Butler left. I was so upset. And I was one of the clowns. I'll put on the clown nose and the shoes and the hat and I'll drive the funny car all up and down the street because I was there in his Instagram comment saying you said you wanted to win and then you left. And obviously there were a lot of internal problems with the coach, but now he's gone. I don't know. That was just a rough situation. So we essentially let him go and got Josh Richardson for a sign and trade. And now we traded Richardson for Seth Curry and I think something else. So, I mean, you get better shooting, not as good defense. But honestly, I'll take the shooting. I will take the shooting 9 times out of 10 because you get Danny Green, who can also shoot the three ball pretty well when he's on. And he's going to give you that defense that Josh Richardson did. And now we just have another elite shooter on our team, which is just desperately needed. We haven't had that since J.J. Redick, someone who can run the pick and roll with Embiid at the top of the key. He can even get to the bucket. He can shoot. And he's going to be hard to guard out there, especially with Ben and Joel clogging the lanes and driving, and Tobias Harris being able to create his shots as he does. So I think that's going to be really good for us, having Seth Curry. And I think the projected starting lineup was going to be Curry, not Richardson, Curry, Danny Green, Embiid, Tobias, and Ben. And I really like that. I like that lineup like 100 times better than last year's because your only real shooters on the floor were Tobias and Richardson last year. and they would run plays for Horford, and like watching his little like, you know, elbow like all the way in front of his face and then shooting the ball. I just hated watching that. It was horrible. My mechanics are bad too. I didn't pick up a basketball to my junior year of high school, and that was about like 4 or 5 years ago. And my shot looks way better than that. Like I hated watching it. Anyway, I think now that the spacing on this team is going to be so much better. Ben, he's just not going to want to shoot. I'll get to that later. But it was a nightmare to watch last year. Just the driving kick, miss three, driving kick, miss three, driving kick, drive again, get fouled, miss free throws. It was just a nightmare to watch. So, and honestly, I was one of the guys calling for not just Brett Brown to be out, but I wanted Simmons out too. I'm obviously rocking the 21, Joel Embiid, trust the process. And I do like Simmons a lot, but I mean, if he's not going to shoot the basketball, then like his value goes so down for me. In the playoffs, I saw how you guys have probably seen how LeBron guarded him during the regular season, where Ben is really dribbling up the ball, and like Ben is right here at the top of the three, and LeBron is underneath the basket, just daring him to shoot. And Simmons won't do it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an ego thing, if he's nervous. I don't know. But that guy is far too concerned in getting into phase and esports. I'm convinced that he does not give a fuck about basketball. If he put half the effort he did into his shooting that he did into phase and video games, then he would definitely be just a perennial all-star and an all-time great. There's no doubt in my mind. But until he starts shooting the basketball, I'm going to continue to give him shit. The entire Philly sports, the entire city of Philly and all the sports fans in there are going to continue to give him shit until he starts shooting the damn basketball. So I wanted him out. I was hoping we could get having James Harden would have been so nice. I don't think that's going to happen now. I don't know what the Rockets are really trying to do. They traded Russell Westbrook for John Wall, which is kind of weird because I kind of just view them as the same player. I honestly kind of forget what John Wall's capable of because we haven't seen him in like 2 years, but we know what Westbrook's capable of. He can drive, he can dunk, he can whine, all just amazing things. Anyway, speaking of Ben Simmons, Doc Rivers in a press conference was saying that he's not going to force Ben Simmons to shoot and he's going to let him play his game, which I think, oh man, I don't like that at all. I really think that as a coach, you know what your team needs to do to be great. And for the Sixers are good. It takes no effort to be good, but it takes everything to be great. And for Simmons, he's good, but he's not great. He's a great defender, but he's just a solid, decent, good player all around. Just because he won't shoot the basketball, he's one-dimensional. And it's horrible to watch. Oh my gosh. And Doc was saying he's just not going to force him to shoot. He's going to let him play his game. He's going to open up the offense, which all sounds nice. These little fluff words, little sprinkles or whatever on a shit sandwich that is his offensive ability and his shooting. So I don't like that at all. That's bad coaching. But I mean, who am I to say? I could put on the clown shoes again in a few months if Simmons isn't shooting and the Sixers go on to win 50 or 60 games and go on a big run. So I don't know. And in terms of who I think is just going to be the best player on this team, I mean, obviously I'm repping Embiid, and I really do think it's going to be him on the condition that, I mean, obviously I would change that if Ben Simmons, I think if Ben Simmons just starts shooting like 2 or 3 threes a game, he's going to be the best player by far. And he's definitely going to make the All-Star team again. First team all defense, could be first team all NBA as well. If he starts just making 1 or 2 threes a game, like he's going to be unguardable. Like it's ridiculous. But I mean, do I think he's going to do that? No. I have seen video after video of him just going out there in the gym and his workouts, and he's shooting the threes with his left hand. He's doing his thing. And everyone's like, oh, he's going to start shooting threes. This is the year. Ben Simmons is going to come in. No. You fool me once, shame on you. Or shame on me, rather. Fool me twice. Oh, my gosh. Because I think there's been like 3 or 4 videos out now. Chris Johnson was posting some stuff, even in the bubble. They were like, hey, shoot that 3, you're going to be unguardable. And he was like, just wait, Orlando. And he got to Orlando. I don't even remember him shooting a 3. I think he might have shot 1 in the corner, and that was it, and we never saw it again. So, I don't know. I have a lot of just... It's not like hate directed at Ben Simmons' character. I feel all this anger because I know what he could be, I'm not mad at him. I am mad at him. I'm mad at him and for him. If he just starts shooting the basketball, that's what will take the Sixers to that next level. You can have all the shooting in the world on this team. We kind of had it with J.J. Redick, Bellinelli, and Ersan Ilyasova a few years ago. And we had all that shooting, and we had Simmons and Embiid. Granted, they were a little younger, and then we saw where that got us. I think it was a second round exit against the Celtics. So in order for us to get past that second level, Simmons has got to shoot the three ball, and he'll be the best player in the league. Thanks for watching.